Well, hey folks, I've got a quick 15-minute meal for you. So it involves spaghetti squash. This can be kind of tricky. Looks like sort of like a lemon yellow football at the grocery store. This is one that's a little bit smaller, actually. And it's a great substitute for pasta. If you're trying to get away from lots of carbs, you're trying to cut back on your processed carbs, it can substitute in place for pasta in some of these Italian dishes. So I'm going to be making marinara sauce with ground turkey and spaghetti squash as the base. So the first thing to do is cut your spaghetti squash in half. First, I'll find the flattest spot possible. Don't worry about the sticker because we're not going to eat the peel. And then I get it in the middle, and then I work my way to each side. Have to bang on your counter. And sometimes that cracks it, and that's okay. If you can't get all, I was going through the stem, so I'm going to turn around and go the other direction. Throw some leverage down. Okay, so now I got it kind of cut in half. Next thing is scoop out the seeds. Helpful if you have a spoon nearby, but I just have a knife, so. It's okay if you don't get all the strings out, just mostly the seeds. This side's a little bit thicker. So now I'm gonna do the cheater's way of doing spaghetti squash, and that's doing it in the microwave. So it only takes about 16 minutes. So I guess this is a 16-minute recipe. So I'm gonna get a baking dish, fill it with about an inch of water, and then put my squash in there. Put my squash face down. And next it goes into the microwave. 16 minutes, and it should be very tender to scoop out. The next step is to get my ground turkey all browned up. Butterball ground turkey, and I've already got my cast iron pan heated up. It's actually smoking, so it's definitely ready for my turkey. You can season this how you want to. I'll probably just add a little bit of garlic powder. So now you've got some time. While the turkey is browning and the squash is cooking, you might think about any kind of sides that you want to have with your meal. And you can pull out your marinara sauce. Once your turkey's browned, you can add your marinara right to the turkey in the cast iron pan. So I like to use Victoria's. This is a brand that I get at Costco. And I just love the flavor of it, and it's a really good price. So I like to get this. I might pull out some Parmesan cheese next and some vegetable sides. So I'll add some Parmesan cheese afterward. But I wanted to show you guys something that I had put away in the refrigerator, and that is both asparagus. It's in a Ziploc bag. I've got asparagus and broccoli in here that I cooked yesterday, and I parboiled it. So I basically used a blanching technique to steam it for about 5 minutes and then put it into ice cold water, so you get a really nice texture that's not mush, that you can put back in the refrigerator and pull out for times like these when all you need to do is reheat it. A very simple way to do your vegetables. So they're pretty much ready to eat, but they are cooked and they have unlocked a lot of their nutrition. So this will be our side tonight. All right, the turkey is coming along. So when the turkey gets pretty brown, I'm going to add the marinara, and then I'm going to put the lid on top. It's going to cook a little bit while longer just to absorb a lot of that flavor. Okay, now we're going to see how tender it is. Perfect. So it should really peel away from the rind really easily. Now we can scoop. It's going to be hot on the edge of the squash, so be careful. But you can just kind of scoop it right out and putting it in the bowl. And you can kind of see there's like little spaghettis, it's kind of stringy, and that's why people call it spaghetti squash. That's why it has its name. And although it doesn't taste like spaghetti, it has a very mild taste, similar to summer squash. So it doesn't really contribute competing flavors to a marinara dish. It's very much, well, the vehicle to consume your marinara or your pesto or whatever sauce that you'd like. Compared to pasta, spaghetti squash is quite low carb. I think it is about 8 grams per half cup, or it might even be like 18 grams per cup. So it's very low in carbohydrate because 1 cup of spaghetti is close to 50 carbs. And the other benefit of spaghetti squash, because it's a vegetable carb, it's going to have a lot more fiber, even more fiber than whole wheat spaghetti. All right, so now the meal is essentially ready. We've got the spaghetti squash cooked. We've got the marinara and the turkey meat done. The only other piece is the green vegetable. Now I'm tempted to throw these right into the sauce, or we could just keep them on the side. If folks don't want to mix them, you could just do like a light butter or olive oil, just heat them up. Once Brian gets home, I'll let him put the serving that he wants on his plate and heat that up in the microwave for about a minute and then plate the rest of it. But for now, I'm gonna keep warm and put a lid back on that. All right, and that's it. Delicious, ready to eat.